Good afternoon, everyone. Just a quick check of your cell phones would be appreciated. And I probably should do that myself. It'd be embarrassing, I guess, wouldn't it? Tell myself to do it. All right. So let's go ahead and get started. This is the February 10th, 2026 Hardin County Fiscal Court regular voting meeting. Let's begin and call this meeting to order. We'll start with a roll call.
Squire Clem.
Here.
Squire Hicks.
Here.
Squire Muse.
Here.
Squire Pennington.
Here.
Squire Saltzman.
Here.
Squire Thompson.
Here.
Squire Whitehead.
Here.
Squire Yates.
Here.
Just all.
Here. Next, we'll have our invocation by Magistrate Saltzman and Pledge of Allegiance, Magistrate Muse.
Father God, we thank you for this beautiful day you've given us. We thank you for this snow and ice melting away and all the water running down across the streets. Father, we thank you for this time that we can be here. We pray for this county that we continue to grow and continue to work and do the duty that we need to do for our citizens here in Hardin County. I pray for the decisions made today, that they would be wise and beneficial for our citizens, and just thank you again for your son Jesus. In his name we pray, amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Wow, that sure is great to hear that many people say the Pledge of Allegiance in here. It's good to see all of you, and I wonder what the occasion is. We're going to get to that in just a few minutes. So again, thanks for being here. I do want to review the agenda just to make sure we're all on the same page here. After we finish up some comments, we will vote on last meeting minutes. We have a very important informational item that we'll cover. And then we have a couple of presentations, reports. After that, we'll have a moment that we can have some citizens' concerns or any comments. Then we have our consent agenda that I'll review those items, and then any comments at the end before we adjourn. So that's the agenda today. All right, so I guess I'd be remiss if I didn't mention this nasty little storm that we've just been through. It's been a long one, that's for sure. Not that the storm lasted that long, but the aftermath of ice that we have been able to, try to work through has been absolutely it's just crazy of what we've had to deal with and what all of you have had to deal with as citizens of this county. So I know that it's been a lot of frustration, and heck, my own driveway was a hazard to go up and down, just a sheet of ice, basically. So it's been rough, and I just wanted to say I'm sorry for all of the inconveniences and the issues that people have had to deal with between the roads, and garbage collection has been rough. Thankfully, our ambulance, our EMS department, there's been no injuries. They've been able to get to the residence or the location that they need to go to, and they've had problems, of course, just once they get there, is getting up the drive or getting into the house. So you can imagine looking outside some of our doors at some of our sidewalks without a pickaxe. It'd been pretty hard to clear some of those. So there's been more of a safety hazard for sure for these paramedics and EMTs that are out there trying to serve us. But I'm happy to say that we haven't had any accidents because of this storm by any of our EMS personnel, and they've been able to perform their duties admirably and have done a great job. So just a lot of thank yous at this point. Of course, our road department is the ones that have taken, as far as as far as county employees have taken the brunt of time that they've been spending out in trucks and various pieces of equipment, spreading, I believe, a little over 1,600 tons of salt. And so it's about 4 times more than what we usually do or need to. And so we've contracted out graders to go out and use their equipment. The state has pitched in and helped us out with some of their equipment, a grader that's been out working. We've had our own grader. We had some maintenance problems with it, but we've used it whenever we could. And so we've tried to reach out and pull in as much help as we can. I'm sure there will be much that we have learned, and whenever we have our review of what happened, we'll learn from it. And if we, God forbid, that we have another one of these storms, we'll be better prepared with some things that we've learned from this storm. And that's what I'm always searching for, continuous improvement and things that we can do better. So we're not perfect. We didn't do everything perfectly by any means, but it's not from a lack of effort. And so I just want to say thank you to our road department, Dwight Morgan, the supervisor, and all the team that were out there every day, Saturdays and Sundays, every day, to work on these roads. So moving on to another topic, a press release went out today regarding our EMS, and we're going to get into this in more detail at the next meeting. But I did want to make mention of it since the press release has gone out that we have received, our EMS department has received the American Heart Association's Mission Lifeline EMS Gold Achievement Award. And if you remember, last year we received the Silver Award. So this year it's the Gold Award. This is, I hope, an encouragement for all of our team in the EMS department, 70 or so of them. And they work every day to help us in our time of need. So much appreciation for them, and this is just an award saying, hey, you're doing a great job, you're out there, you're working hard, and you're well prepared and trained. And so we will actually receive this award very soon, the Fiscal award, and then we will have a celebration, a bit of a celebration at our next meeting later this month. I just wanted to mention them and that. And like I said, there's a press release that went out, so you can look at our Facebook page and see more information about that. And then finally, the last item I have today to talk some about is I think I've mentioned several times about the need for some jail reform and to be able to bring the amount of money that fiscal court has to subsidize our jail is overwhelming. And as I've said before, when I took office, we were somewhere around $2.5 million subsidy, which I thought was a lot of money. And in just a few years, it's grown to almost $6 million. $6 million. Now, we bring in about $11 million in property tax. Okay, so kind of give you a feel for how much of an impact that is. So what that does, it makes it very difficult for all of us sitting up here to look at our budget to try to figure out how we're going to continue to provide the services that we need and are required to provide and do them adequately and even exceptionally. And it costs money to do that. And we struggle. We have each year, and we will this year coming up. So this bill, which is HB 557, is not perfect by any means, but it will definitely help. It could have a pretty huge impact on bringing that subsidy down millions of dollars if this thing gets passed as law. And, working with Josh, Big Josh over here, Josh Lindblom, our jailer, and other associations. I think it's the first time, I was just talking to Josh right before the meeting today, the first time that we've had so many of the county associations together on this, because something has to be done. It's just not sustainable for our taxpayers to continue to subsidize all this money for the jail. The state should be helping us with this. So if you're interested, please go and search out HB 557. I'm thankful and happy to say that all 5 of our representatives for this county, all 5 of them, are now co-sponsors for this bill. And that is a big deal. And I think there's maybe 20 co-sponsors now. So we make up a big chunk of that for the whole state. But there's a lot more that are going to be added. If we can get up to 40 at least co-sponsors or more, then this bill will be hard for some that might not be excited about it at the state level to ignore it. So I'm very encouraged at this point. I know it's a long road ahead for this thing to become law, but if you want to, if you know some other representatives in other counties, or if you want to call your representative and encourage them and thank them for co-sponsoring this bill, I think it would be great for us to continue to do that and support them. All right, so enough of that, and we'll move on to our next agenda item, which is to approve Hardin County Fiscal Court January 27, 2026 minutes. Just need a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. All right, any discussion? Roll call, please.
Squire Clem,
Yes.
Squire Hicks,
Yes.
Squire Muse,
Yes.
Squire Pennington,
Yes.
Squire Saltzman,
Yes.
Squire Thompson,
Yes.
Squire Whitehead,
Yes.
Squire Yates,
Yes.
Judge Tall.
Yes, motion passes. All right, next on the agenda, under informational items, we have a very exciting thing to celebrate. And I am going to ask if our Animal Control Director, Mike McNutt, will come up, and I think there is a presentation of a 2025 Humane Law Enforcement Award by Humane World for Animals, and I believe Mike will introduce who's going to do that and kind of where we go from here.
I'd like to introduce Todd Blevins. He is the State Director for Humane World. And he's here with us to honor us with an award.
Thank you, Mike, and thank you, Judge. Thank you, Magistrates. It's an honor to be here in Hardin County today. So just to tell you a little bit about myself and the organization that I work for, my name's Todd Blevins, as the judge said. I live in Richmond, Kentucky. I've been a Kentucky native most of my life, but I represent an organization, I work for an organization called Humane World for Animals, and I am our Kentucky State Director. So wear a lot of different hats in that job, but one of the hats that I have the pleasure of wearing is in working with law enforcement on animal cruelty cases. So before I get too far ahead, I just wanted to say it's good to be in Hardin County because Hardin County is, I will tell you all, a leading light in animal welfare in the state in general. For instance, I know Mr. Clerk up there made a wonderful video last week promoting the spay and neuter license plate. So thank you for that, Mr. Clerk. You've got folks here in the audience that I consider friends and are leading dignitaries in animal welfare, whether it's Councilwoman Springsteen in Elizabethtown, Councilwoman Merle in Radcliffe, the Friends of the Shelter, and so on and so forth. But that's not the main reason I'm here today. I'm here to talk about the awards that we're going to be giving out. So we present our Humane Law Enforcement Awards to agencies across the country that do exemplary work to highlight animal cruelty and, more importantly, prosecute it and make sure that justice is served. So in this case, I'm sure I don't need to say a whole lot about the case that I'm here on behalf of, but it was an animal torture case over in Radcliffe. Obviously made a lot of news in the community, I'm sure, but each agency will be able to fill you in more about it as they come up, if they would like. I will say just a couple of things about the awards. We normally present it to an agency. So normally it may be the sheriff's office or a police department or a prosecutor's office, but we felt it was important in this case to present awards top to bottom, because this was a case in which from the time of investigation all the way through prosecution, the work was exemplary. So that's why I have multiple awards today, and I'm honored to be able to give those out. So let me check my notes here and make sure I covered everything I wanted to cover off the top. But the last thing I will say is, as I was telling Assistant Commonwealth Attorney Carr on the way in, it's not often in animal welfare that we get to celebrate a victory of this magnitude, and so we felt it was important to amplify that. And so we appreciate you all giving us the space today to do that. And I guess without further ado, I'll go ahead and get with it on the awards. So first, the first agency we're going to be presenting an award to today is the Radcliffe Police Department. I know Detective Mattingly is here. I'm not sure what special guests he has, but I'd like to invite him up to the podium, along with anybody that he would like. And if I'll let him speak on the case if he'd like.
I'm sure Todd's going to get into it, but I just want to say that collectively, this was a group effort. The Radcliffe Police Department is not responsible for this alone. When it was brought to me, I had taken the information and the evidence and everything that Mike and his crew and his people had done. I coordinated that, did a little bit extra legwork, and then I presented it to Eric, to his office, and between Eric and myself, we had multiple meetings, and he ran with it and presented an amazing case and got an excellent outcome. So it was not just me or the Radcliffe Police Department, this was a group effort.
So with that, we'll go ahead and unwrap the first one here since Kenny's up here. Our first 2025 Humane Law Enforcement Award goes to the Radcliffe Police Department. And I believe, Judge, if you'll allow it, I think we're going to get a group picture at the end.
We
if
are.
that'll be okay.
Yes,
okay.
definitely. Yeah. Don't leave.
Yeah, just didn't want to get ahead of myself.
Yeah.
All right, so as Detective Mattingly said, they primarily got the case going alongside the recipient of our next award, and you heard Mike come up here a moment ago, but the award's going to be going to Hardin County Animal Care and Control. I want to highlight a couple of reasons why we want to highlight them in this case. Not only was their investigatory work wonderful on its own, I remember when either Mike or Chris Seiler had contacted me when the case first happened. This is where we jumped in to provide some assistance. So we provided $2,000 worth of necropsies, which are animal autopsies for those that maybe don't know, because we were informed early on that that could be a crucial element of the case to make sure that it was pursued in the fullest capacity. So we were happy to contribute to that, and I'm glad that those necropsies did help advance the case. So another reason we want to highlight the shelter is because they held on to these dogs for a long time. Obviously, you all in your capacity know what a financial impact that had on the county budget. And I'm sure Mike can quantify that when he comes up here, but we are talking to the tune of hundreds of thousands of dollars. That is not easy. And frankly, a lot of shelters don't have the means to be able to do that. So thank you all for giving the shelter the budget they need to make that happen. So without further ado, I will invite Mike or whomever wants to come up for our second award. It'll be a minute. I think there are like 30 people.
So as Todd said, this was a group effort. I would love to be able to bring the actual people that cared for the animals up here as well, but we don't have a big time slot to accomplish all this. But the entire staff needed to be here for this. And I want to thank Todd for actually coming here and presenting this here so that the entire staff could be a part of this. 2.5 years of taking care of the same 14 animals. There's bonds that are built. There's so much. It was a labor of love by each of the kennel techs that are represented here today. I can't say enough about the work that this staff does. You all hear me whenever I come in. I was blessed when I first walked into Hardin County Animal Care and Control, and I continue to be blessed on a daily basis. And if you know me, you know I'm all about family. So my family's here with me, but this is also my family. So it was fantastic work done here. The evidence collection that Officer Seiler did was hands down perfect. And if you can imagine what he had to do to collect the evidence, if you only knew, you would probably want to say, you know what, I want to buy you a beer because, and I don't even think he drinks, but the bottom line, what officers had to collect, what they had to wade through was just, it was a house of horrors. So I just want to thank Todd for coming here and letting us share it with the community, because the community also deserves this award. Thank you.
All right, and on to our third and final award. And I will tell you all, of the 3 awards I mentioned top to bottom, it's often the prosecution of an animal cruelty case that goes underwarranted or under pursued. That's just a little secret from across the state. That was obviously not the case here. In fact, I know from following the coverage of the case, especially during Mr. Carr's closing remarks, I've heard from numerous individuals who remarked what a powerful moment that was. Would recommend, if you are able to go back and see that, or see a photo, or at least read about what he presented. I think it was very, very compelling. That's not to say that the rest of the work that they did wasn't compelling, but that was just something that stood out to me. So, Eric, if you would like to come on up along with anybody else that you have.
Well, unfortunately, today is work day in Hardin Circuit Court. I feel like I'm playing hooky, but the rest of our staff is in court working this afternoon. I want to thank you all for the support that you provide to our office, and for the support that you provide to our law enforcement officers. We couldn't do what we do without the support of the Hardin Fiscal Court. And I've been blessed by God with the privilege to serve this community as a prosecutor, to work for Shane Young, and to represent the work that these officers do out on the street every day, to be able to present that to our juries that are made up of our community members. So I'm just the mouthpiece, and these guys, the love that they put into their jobs, you can see it every day. They're just amazing, and it's my privilege to work with them. And thank you all for everything that you do to keep them going.
And Eric was far too humble to say this, but he had mentioned to me that other prosecutors have already begun to reach out to him about animal cruelty cases for how they can best handle them as a result of his work here. So I guess with that, Judge and magistrates, I will come up for the picture if everybody is still around, and that is still okay. Yes, yes, sir.
Before we come up for the picture, I want to give an opportunity for any of us to speak, because I realize after the picture things are going to maybe move around here, and I don't blame you if you need to get back to work, okay? But I just wanted to say how proud I am of all of each person that was involved in this. And you can look around in the room, and we have a good chunk of our animal control folks here, our team, and they're the ones that were in it every day with taking care of, first of all, going and getting the evidence, which was horrendous, and then after that, taking care of these animals for a long period of time, and cleaning their cages and all the stuff that you kind of just I don't know, look over in some ways. They did the hard work. And I'm very proud of each one of them and how they stuck in there. And of course, Mike McNutt is the leader of this department, and the amount of wisdom and amount of hard work that he does every day and throughout this whole case. And I don't think that as his part of this whole puzzle of making this thing come together was a significant piece of that. And so I just want to make sure that all of you know how much I appreciate what you guys do. And then the collaboration, partnership with Radcliffe Police, and with everyone there. That it took a lot of work to do all of this. So, and I know you're busy. So thank you. And I think it's just an amazing thing how this community has come together to make this happen. And it's I just want to say I'm very proud of all of you, and thank you so much for what you do, not only in this case, but what you do every single day. So thank you again. Thank you for being here today and presenting these awards. We need to celebrate more, we've got some things to celebrate. I know this storm Fern kind of put a damper on things for a bit here, right? Well, here's something to celebrate, and I think the timing was perfect for you to be here. So I just want to open it up. If any others, magistrates, if any of you wanted to say anything, you're welcome to.
Yes, Judge. I'd just like to say, while I'm not proud that this happened in my hometown,
Yeah.
I am proud of the hard work that the Radcliffe Police Department did to get this case before the prosecutor. I'm proud of my friend Toshi Merle over here. I know she's a big animal advocate. Proud of the Hardin County Animal Shelter for all they did over the past 2.5 years. And thank you to Mr. Carr and his office for all they did to ensure that justice was served.
Sometimes the word inadequate thank you is inadequate. And this is one of those cases, I think, because so many people invested so much of their life into this case the last 2.5 years. If you ever had the privilege of sitting down with Mike or Toshi and talk to them about God's creatures, you need to do that, because they truly love what they do. They truly love God's creatures, and all the staff at the animal care. Anytime you go down there, it's obvious that they're there not for the salary, that's for sure. They're there because they love those animals. And so take some time and go down and visit with these folks, because they need your encouragement, and we just say thank you from the bottom of our hearts, both of you. Thank you.
Takes a special kind of person to do what Mike McNutt, Sharon Kelly, their team does every day, and not to mention this horrendous case that they've been dealing with, and the animal cruelty, the severity of that. I just want to tell you from the bottom of my heart, I appreciate you. I appreciate what you do every day, and especially with the circumstances that you've been facing for over 2 years now. Thank you so much. Mr. Carr, thank you. Detective Mattingly, Chief Cross, Toshi, thank you to all of you. We're just extremely proud of what you do, and we're just delighted with the outcome. Thank you.
I just want to say, you said it was a team effort, and I agree 100%. And I wish we had an award to give you, because there's so many on the team that I didn't know all about that worked and helped with this case. But I found out today from you that you guys donated to help with this investigation. And so I wish we had an award to give you guys. I wish we had an award to give to all the advocates sitting out here that helped and cared and worked and showed up in court to show support for these animals. It's just great to see our community come together. And thank you and the Humane World for Animals for your donation to help with this investigation also.
Yes, sir.
Thanks.
Anybody else?
I'm going to be brief. It's awesome that we get to highlight a situation and a case like this, but I do want to take a moment to mention the fact that Mike and his team, they don't just do this for this high-profile case. They do this for every animal that comes in the shelter, and that should not go overlooked at all. definitely piggyback off of everything everybody else has said, but day in and day out, how they treat the animals and the people that come in there to adopt, just the entire organization, the operation that they have, it's phenomenal. So thank you, Mike, and the entire team.
Okay. All right. Well, at that, let's get together and have and get a picture taken.
Which is the good side? He's getting a good side. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, I hope so.
That camera already knows, thank God. Who's gonna hold the football? Who's gonna hold the football? Like in high school?
That was the issue, go. 10 points, but 1
All right. We'll move on then and move to our presentations. We'll start with our detention center, Josh Lindblom.
You know how to clear a room, don't you, Big Josh?
I thought about going to stand next to Eric Carr, see had somebody with him, but I said, yeah, you'll be all right. So January was a long year, but we made it through it. I saw Beth Jackson post that on Facebook the other day, so I was like, yeah, it's about right, But, so January 2026, I'll go through this report real quick, and then I'll give y'all a briefing about House Bill 557 and some of the stuff we got going on, so. I had lodging income for the month of January. It's $288,559.26. Intake for the month is 415, release was 396, average daily was 605, total count 562. If you notice that our state billing is going down, it's 46%, which is a bad thing. We're not getting the state prison we get, and that's one of the things that we'll talk about during House Bill 557. So, county is 54%. Charging information. Misdemeanor charge, operating under the influence, 31, assault fourth degree, 25, possession of marijuana, 12, violation of Kentucky EPO or DVO, 3, non-payment of fines, 19, theft by deception code checks is 8, shoplifting, 16, felony charges, burglary first, second, and third, 6, robbery first, second, 0, assault first, second, third, 3, possession of controlled substance, 44, flagrant non-support, 2, and trafficking in illegal substances, 10. Weekend total for the month was 65. Inmate hours worked for the month of January was 10,264. For outside agencies, including the road department, was 1,944 hours. Medical appointments, outside appointments were 20. Emergency room visits 1. Nursing visits inside the facility was 927. Of course, it's cold and flu season. Hospital admissions 1. Inmates on medication 267. Inmate road trash cleanup program, they were busy. Of course, you know, some days you couldn't go out because you had snow on the ground or there was other projects going on, but 105.8 miles of road was cleared and 1,049 bags of trash were taken off the roads here in Hardin County, making it a cleaner county. Just real quick, I know January was just part of the ice storm. That's the first part. But I just want to kind of go over what some of the guys in the jail did and the staff, you know, because, you know, like I said before, the jail staff is ones that will not get plaques. They won't get, awards and stuff like that. But I will tell you, they work hard and they do a good job. But since they're behind closed walls and closed doors, nobody really knows what they do. So just a little telling you about this, okay? So working out on GPS, the men in the maintenance crews cleared almost 10 miles. It was like 100 yards, like 105 yards short of, or 105 feet short of 10 miles in E-Town and in the county. So Steel Drive, Hawkins Drive, Greenway, Memorial Drive, and different areas where we had to be able to get an ambulance back to be able to get to somebody that, you know, that E-Town couldn't get a truck back to because they're bigger trucks, or the county couldn't get a bigger truck to. Plowed and de-iced, all the sidewalks and all the grounds at Helping Hand. All 4 Clarity Solutions are locations. The American Legion, Central Valley Homeless, 4 different counties or city schools and 1 county school, and also we got help from a magistrate with skid steers. That was pretty good. I appreciate that, but they were able to get everything back to normal at some of the schools. The detention center, the OR2 downtown, the History Museum, the senior living office right around the corner. 6 different fire apartments were plowed so they could handle a response and get people back and forth. Elizabethtown Board of Education, the warming shelter in Glendale, EMS station at the jail. They went through and they asked us if we could go through State Highway, asked if we could follow behind them and stuff, and helped them with clearing off areas like going off Mulberry Street where they'd make a 4-foot mound where you couldn't get into a neighborhood, so we'd go down and bust all that up and kind of clear that out on some of the county roads and some of the city roads. And later on, we went to some schools out in the county that we had to go down to do that stuff because they just couldn't get to work. They had a professional day, and we got calls from different citizens and different magistrates asking if we could go and help them out, so we sent the tractors out and pickaxes and shovels and everything else and stuff and got a lot of that cleared out so they could actually pull in the parking lot. 26 driveways, and when I say driveways, that's not normally what we do, but in the aspect where you have a hospice patient or a dialysis patient or something, and we get calls saying, hey, these people can't get the medicine or anything. You know, we had people that were shut-ins that couldn't get out of their house for 6 days, didn't have any food. So, sent people out there, they busted up the sidewalks, they cleared off the ice, and I will tell you, there was actually one of the constables, John Bays, and Patsy got us all hooked up together and stuff, brought out a skid steer. My guys helped block off the road and clear off the sidewalks, clear off the stuff. We were able to get an elderly couple out, and they were able to go to the store, get food and get medicine and actually make their appointments. That was a big thing. Throughout the whole ice epidemic, a pandemic, I'm gonna call it a pandemic, let's just say that. 32 employees were hauled back and forth. We've actually picked people up, brought them to work, moved them around, and we didn't miss a shift. I mean, it's 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Also, hospital workers were taken back and forth with a little help, and a couple of different agencies that were necessary, we brought them into town and stuff, got them taken care of. Throughout the week, there was 4 employees that actually stayed, some stayed 4 days straight. We set up temporary quarters for them and stuff in different areas of the jail, made sure they got fed, made sure they got, they had one place to take a shower, everything else, stuff they got to take care of. So, throughout this whole thing, I mean, they really stood up and did a really good job. So I just want to say I appreciate them and the cooperation we had with y'all. I mean, there's a lot of y'all magistrates and stuff. I know at least 6 of y'all called me about different things where citizens were calling with concerns and needing help, and we all got together and helped them. So that's a big thing. So going back to House Bill 557, of course, y'all have sat through enough budget cycles now to know that, and for the people running for magistrate and the different people that want to jump into all this stuff, they'll realize how rough it is sometimes. Whenever I first started, of course, the deficit was right at about, a little over $3 million, which wasn't drastic. It was, it was a little high, but it wasn't drastic. But, of course, we got it below $2 million, which was great. And, of course, Fiscal Court back then did backflips. A couple of y'all were there, But as the years go by, of course, the model that the jails are based off of in Kentucky, of course, I'm the president of the Jailers Association, so that makes me one of the guys that has to go out and advocate not just for this county, but for the whole state. And throughout the state, there's one thing that's been echoed, maybe not fiscal courts, because, sometimes we're the turds of the group, but some areas and stuff in government and stuff, it's just the fact that, it's not a jailer problem, it's a jail problem. Of course, there's money that costs to the counties, and one, the jail budget is statutory. You have to pay it. I mean, whatever you do, before you do anything in the budget, you have to pay the jail budget because it's the law. So we try to keep it slim, and we always have, and worked on it really hard. One thing that's grown over the years was employment, health care, and insurance, and of course utilities, But now going forward with this model, this antiquated model that the jails house state prisoners to make money, and of course fed prisoners, which right now there's less fed prisoners than federal prisoners right now in the state of Kentucky than there has been in 10 years. It's getting to the point where everybody's finally seeing it. There's a issue. So House Bill 557 is a 3-pronged approach. And I'm sure you've all been preached this before, but for the 20 people that are watching at home and the few people that are in the audience and stuff, just a little quick thing. So this is the first time that a bill that has been put forth to help the jails over the years has been pushed by the Jailers Association, CACO, Magistrate Association, and the Judges Association at the same time. Nobody's ever been on the same page about it. But as time goes by, they realize that, hey, every county is losing money because the way the system's set up by the state. So with that being said, so House Bill 557 is a bill. One, the first part about it, it incentivizes regionalization. So when you incentivize regionalization means that, at a county level, not a state level, you as a fiscal court should decide where your money goes to with the taxpayers, correct? Not the state. You see how the driver's license system went? That's the same thing would go if you regionalize jails on the state level. County level regionalization is where it's at, just on the fact that you have a say in where your tax dollars go. Well, so that would keep it at the county level, and you'd be able to go ahead and set it up to where any county that wanted to do that would receive $1 million. Each county that wants to incentivize and they want to go ahead and regionalize, that would set that up. Any jail that's already regionalized that wants to go ahead and set up to where every set up a regional jail authority, they can do so and they get $500,000 a piece. Now, mind you, it's only over 10 years, so it's not a lot of money. So it's not, don't think, oh man, $1 million, that's great, but it is a good start. The second part about it is that once a person goes to jail and they're charged with a felony and they're here, say, now mind you, our court system moves lightning fast. We've talked about this before, but some don't. The longer somebody's there, it costs us more money because until they are sentenced, they are a county prisoner, which they're not being held by the county. They're not held on the county ordinance. They're not held by that. They're held by the state. They're held by the Commonwealth of Kentucky. So those people, once they're found and sentenced and convicted, this is upon conviction of the bill, not sentencing, we get paid retroactively since day one. So it'd be more than just what the other bill was talked about. Before it was at 60 days, they were talking about going forward with it. So now it'd go all the way back to day one. So that is a big push. So all this together with that, and then also the third part is the contractual language bill, because the law already says you have to have a contract with Department of Corrections. I've been in this business a long time, I've never seen a contract. They don't have contracts with the jails. We get paid $35.34 a day to house a state prisoner. Does anybody know how much a state prison, at their lowest state prison, lowest cost per day per prisoner is? $88. So you think that gap right there, compared to what we have, if you send the state prisoners down, the state would already be saving money, like $34 million a year. But instead, they keep the prisoners up there and choke out the jails. Well, at this, it would go for the actual cost of what a prisoner costs to house. And that's a big, big thing, because you're not on the wrong end of the stick. We don't have any bargaining rights right now, but with the contract language, we would. So the jailer and the fiscal courts would get together and they'd say, okay, let's negotiate a contract with the state. So that would put us on a level playing field all the way across. So in the past, let's say it come out Friday. In the past Friday stuff, there's been multiple representatives from the state. All of our Hardin County reps and stuff, as of walking in earlier, stuff, got a call from, or got a message from Steve Bratcher. He was on their board, so now we had 5 from this county that's actually co-sponsor this bill. As of right now, as of yesterday morning, or this morning, there was 14. We should have over 20 by the end of the day once the LRC puts it all in there and actually loads up the computer. So, like I said in the past, and stuff, we're working really hard, and I think now that everybody knows that it's actually a problem across the state that jails have been getting messed over, and therefore the taxpayers get messed over. So the jails have to work with what they have and do a lot with less than what they should, Just the fact, is the budget going to go up if we get more money? No, we're going to keep it the same way it is. It's just, we don't overspend. We're one of the lowest budgets in the state when it comes to size of the jail. We get 12,000 bookings a year. It's a busy jail. We're right here in all the interstates and all the parkways converge right here. But at some point, the state owes us some money. And we're not going to take it no more. So it's been really good working with everybody, getting everybody together and saying, hey, let's get this done. We got one of the best lobbyists in the state, and she's a bulldog. She's been hitting up people left and right, and I've been getting calls from state reps and news agencies and everything else. It's been working really well. So Keiko's been great. I keep hearing people say, well, it's not the greatest bill. Well, no, it's greater than anything we've ever had, bill-wise. So, at some point, something's got to give, and this right here would help us out. So, I know a lot of people say supplemental for the jail, do different things and stuff, but, in all actuality and stuff, they have to pay the jail budget. So, do I want to spend any more money? No. That's not my thing, but I will tell you stuff. Sometimes I feel like it's, it's a target on the jailer's backs across the state because they think, oh, you're just wasting money. Well, no, they're not wasting money. They're paying what they have to. So, it's a big issue across the state. And like I said, if you talk to anybody in the House, please jump on there. Like I said, everybody from Hardin County and LaRue County. Now, Ryan Bivens is signed on and stuff as a co-sponsor yesterday. Good guy over there and stuff. And like I said, we've made some big headway already, and we're going to keep rocking it. So if any of y'all have any individual questions about anything, just feel free to holler at me. And, the rumor is if at regionalization, we'd have to move our prisoners. No, that's not going to happen. We'd be a hub right here. We wouldn't be housing prisoners in Butler County. We wouldn't be housing prisoners in anywhere else. They'd be right here. Your loved one's not going to go to Fulton County, unless you all are the ones that decide you want to send them there. So it's not up to us. So, but just saying that, like I said, in closing, just like I said, I just want to point that out. Give some of these people that are up and running just a little hint to what happens and what's been going on for these years and stuff. And I'm open for any questions you got.
Josh, I appreciate our 5 representatives jumping on board for sure. But we don't want to forget Michael Meredith too, because he has been there for I don't know how many sessions back. He's been pushing and pushing and pushing. Can't even get it out of committee. So I'm hoping that this time maybe it'll get over the hurdle. And I like his words about level playing field, because we've been off, it's not been a level playing field for years. So even the old Lewis Lawson days when we got paid to house juveniles in jail.
we got paid to have state prisons, a lot of them, it don't happen like that anymore. So, anybody else?
Just want to give you a shout out. I don't know what some of the folks here in Hardin County would have done without your help and the help that you provided from the inmates and your crew. It makes a difference, and I truly appreciate you.
It's my guys. I mean, I was out helping out a little bit and stuff, but I will tell you this, those guys they got out. There was almost, I think final count, whenever I had to pay them all out of pocket, or pay for food for out of pocket stuff, there was about 42 of them altogether. When it was all said and done, they got out there and helped out. So it shows a lot of community spirit and stuff when you have an inmate out there doing all that stuff. So
Yeah, well, thank you much.
and thank you for helping us out. Like I said, any communication we have through the public and stuff back and forth, this stuff works really well. So
Yeah.
Josh, I want to thank you too. I had a lady that didn't know what to do. She was pretty much housebound. Nobody had helped her clear her driveway. And I called Josh, and Josh said, we'll take care of it. And Josh went out there yesterday morning, and him and his inmates, and they shoveled that snow off that driveway, that long driveway. And if it, he could have said, well, I can't do that, or you'll have to get somebody else, but he didn't. He said, I'll take care of it.
it only cost me 36 cheeseburgers. So, it's all right.
I just want to say thank you, Josh. We've heard several stories of where you've helped out, and you and the inmates have helped out. But this isn't unique just to this storm. You guys do this all year long and save the cospayers hundreds of thousands of dollars by mowing right away, or taxpayers.
Yeah, there you go.
Hundreds of thousands of dollars, and we don't know what we do without you.
Now, the $100,000, that's only minimum wage and stuff. We actually worked out to a living wage. It'd be a ton, so
Right.
we had conversations with some of the other jailers and stuff, and they calculated it like $25 an hour, and that's like $15 more than the jail makes. I was like, that's not good. What else, guys?
Josh, and I do want to reiterate some of the work whenever they're talking about being out in the equipment and working. That's a couple trucks and a tractor. Majority of the guys were using shovels, and the work that they were performing was hard labor. And so I got to see it firsthand, and I really appreciate your helping the school system and countless people that I know that I've called you for. So
It was very interesting stuff, because you take out the snow box, which is made for the front of the tractor, and you put the bucket back on and have to dig it and get off your wheels and stuff, take it across there. It's pretty wild, but hopefully that never happens again. So
yeah, so definitely a well-utilized operation. Y'all don't really have to do it, and so do appreciate it, and it's something to be appreciated. So thank you.
yeah.
Got one word for you, Josh. Thank you for being responsive. And I appreciate that.
My guys.
Yeah.
Appreciate y'all.
All right, thank you, Josh. All right, next up, Emergency Management, Joey Scott.
Afternoon, Judge, members of the court.
Good afternoon.
Just want to bring you on my January report, just kind of cover some of the significant actions for the month. Some of the meetings we attended, and then again, we were throwing some curveballs during the month too, so I had to respond to those. First and foremost, the Healthcare Emergency Response Alliance meeting. We attended that this month, emergency planning with the staff from Springhaven, working on their emergency plans. We had a Stephenburg siren meeting as well, trying to make some needed repairs on the siren down there to get it back up functioning. Hardin County Fire Chiefs Association meeting, Kentucky KYEM Area 4 quarterly meeting in Louisville we attended this month. We attended numerous National Weather Service meetings. And then also, we did hold a winter storm planning meeting with all county entities, and some different cities attended that as well. So that was a good collaboration to form a plan for the storm, not knowing what was coming. So we did the best we could do getting a plan together in a short amount of time. So next on the list, I'd like to talk about some of the work Richard Witt does for me. Again, we're just a two-man department, so Richard handles numerous amounts of things, does a great job. Just some of the stuff he handled for the month, updated 13 EHS extreme hazardous substance plans, reviewed and approved 25 daycare emergency evacuation plans, reviewed and updated the Hardin County EOP, that's Emergency Operation Plan, updated working agreements with all search and rescue teams affiliated with Hardin County Emergency Management. And also, he completed 13 items on our Kentucky work plan that we are required to hold for the state of Kentucky every year. Emergency responses. We responded to a school bus accident. Luckily, no injuries were reported there. Structure fire, we responded to in White Mills, and kind of a twofold curveball there. We were down actually in the southern portion of the county working a no heat call for a residence that was iced and snowed in, and a structure fire come about. So we provided assistance to the fire departments during that time. Emergency medical snow removal to access patients. We worked numerous amounts of those with Mark's crews, with EMS. We actually responded to a large animal rescue call in Rineyville. We had some cattle that broke through the ice, and I can tell you that until you're a part of one of those, we are truly blessed to have tracers in Hardin County, and all the Hardin County volunteer fire departments that made that run. We was able to save 3 cattle that fell through, and these were full-size heifers. So that was a team effort, and I just wanted to commend all of them that took place in that. Again, and the farmer was very thankful for that too as well. We attended we made a 6-car accident on I-65 during the initial storm involving a large diesel tank spill there. I want to talk a little about the Emergency Operations Center. That was kind of our highlight of our month because we were so busy with that operations, and I won't get too in depth with it, but I just want to cover some key points of it. Operation period was 86 hours. We took 415 calls for assistance out of the Emergency Operations Center, collaborated with more than 30 agencies during that storm, and I'm probably leaving out a few, but 30 for the most part. Coordinated with 9 different agencies to set up 9 warming centers in Hardin County. And again, I'd like to commend all the volunteers that came out and helped us with that. Hardin County School Board was gracious enough to let us use the old East Hardin Middle School down there. Luckily, we didn't have massive power outages, but we were prepared if we did. We had everything set up ready to go. Even though no one was coming in to use these, we had volunteers there all night long working them. So again, that was a big plus for our county to have that. Something that's not on here, and I just want to mention the Kentucky Jeep Tribe. This group of Jeep owners got together, and they come out and helped transport nurses, doctors back and forth, called into our EOC, gave us their number, said, please, by all means, call us for anything. And they've done a tremendous job. So I just wanted to make a mention of them and commend them for their efforts too, because they were a lifesaver during that time in that event. We also collaborate with the KYEM state EOC for resources. And anytime we have a storm like this that's declared emergency, we can call in for resources to be brought into Hardin County, which we did this time as well. So I want to talk a little about my staff that was working in there: Richard DeWitt, Jennifer Kent, Eric Cook, Brian Walker, Tyler Heiser, and Mike Leo. Without these people working that EOC, I mean, they were around the clock and very impressive, to say the least. And something else is not on here. Guys, I want to say, when we have an emergency of this size and this nature, the collaboration with the cities, City of Radcliffe, City of Vine Grove, City of Elizabethtown, City of Sonora, City of Upton, West Point, it was just amazing to see everybody come together as Hardin Countyans, and I can't say enough good things. I can go on with stories all day long for you, but we had a National Weather Service. One of our top national weather meteorologists lives in Vine Grove, Kentucky, that works in Louisville. That was snowed into his house, and I called the City of Vine Grove Fire Department, and they responded out and dug him out and took him to Louisville. So again, it was a collaborated effort across the board, so I was really impressed. And last and least here, I've got about our rave alerts. Again, all the work that Brian Walker's been helping us with, of pushing this out. Again, I encourage everybody to get on there and sign up for these alerts, because even in this storm, it was providing good information to everybody. So, and that's all I had. Anybody have any questions?
Thank you, guys.
Appreciate all your hard work.
Thank you all.
Thank you so much,
Thank you, Joey.
Joey.
Appreciate it. I think you see from just these two reports of how much our departments and different offices work with each other, and it's heartwarming really to see how well we do work together as a community. I'll call out right now Radcliffe. I think JJ, I believe they had helped us with one of our county roads that we were struggling with. That's another example of how we work together and try to help each other out. So it's been a rough storm, but thankfully, what is it, 60 degrees outside? Okay, so that's always good news.
Feels like Speedo weather, doesn't it?
It does. Well, I don't know. I'm not
Please
sure we'll go
don't.
that far.
Please don't.
All right, so there's some other written reports available if you're interested to see those. All right, moves us on to any citizens' concerns or comments. Do we have anybody who wants to come up and have a concern or comment that you have today? All right, seeing none, we'll move on and to our consent agenda. We'll review these items real quickly here. We don't have too many of them. The first two are our typical finance items, and Resolution 17 included in that with some financial transfers. We have the EMS personnel. It's Resolution 21 that we need to approve those changes. We have our typical annual bids, Resolution 18, 2026-18, bid for road materials. So there were 9 items that went out for bid, everything from salt to asphalt. And item E here is Resolution 20, and that's related to approval of First View LLC software. This is kind of a neat thing that Fiscal Court has agreed to help our fire departments. It's provide fire department software for all the volunteer fire departments in Hardin County. And this is from January 31st of this year to January 31st of 2027 at a cost of around $33,000. So this was something that the Fire Chiefs Association and Joy and others associated with volunteer fire departments came to us several times to discuss this option and how much impact, positive things that would happen with, first of all, standardizing on one software and standardizing on a software that is already being used by our city fire departments. So there's lots of advantages to go into this, and they needed some help to make that happen. So I'm happy that we have this resolution in here. And finally, Public Works Committee meeting minutes from February 6th is in here. Okay, so before we vote, does anyone disagree or want to remove any of these items? Okay, hearing none, then so I need a motion to approve the consent agenda items.
So moved. I got Squire Yates on the motion.
Who seconded?
I heard Clem.
Okay,
Squire
Fred Clem.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Okay, so we'll move on to a roll call, please.
Squire Clem?
Yes.
Squire Hicks?
Yes.
Squire Muse?
Yes.
Squire Pennington?
Yes.
Squire Saltzman?
Yes.
Squire Thompson?
Yes.
Squire Whitehead?
Yes.
Squire Yates?
Yes.
Judge Tall?
Yes, motion passes. All right, next on the agenda, we'll move to any comments and start with our county attorney.
I don't have any, thank you.
All right, how about our county clerk? Okay, we'll move on to magistrates then. Magistrate Yates.
I just want to say congratulations to Mark Peterson and all of our EMS crew on bringing home the gold. Also, our next Emergency Service Committee meeting will be this Thursday at 3:30 p.m. across the hall.
All right, very good, thank you. Magistrate Saltzman.
I have nothing, thank you.
Magistrate Whitehead.
Yes, congratulations to our EMS team on your gold award. Awesome, we're proud of you for that. Just real quick, if you folks haven't checked out the Hardin County Public Library webpage lately, try to find some time to do that. They have a lot of activities going on. I'm not going to get into every one of them, but they do have something special going on for Valentine's Day if you're looking for something to do there. You can just Google Hardin County Public Library, and it'll show up on your app. Also, I'd like to give a shout out to our communications officer, Brian Walker. Brian, just a terrific job with your communications efforts through the storm, the updates, which came on a regular basis. Without that, we would have literally been in the dark. So good job, Brian, with all you've done in your efforts for keeping us up to date on what's going on. Appreciate you. And then just want to remind our community, the Resources and Community Support Committee meeting is Wednesday, February the 18th at 3:30. It's usually on a Monday, but Monday is a holiday. So that meeting will be February 18th at 3:30. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Magistrate Clem.
Yes, Judge. It's already been mentioned by several, but I too want to congratulate everyone for their awards, and also thank everybody that responded to this storm, first responders, and as Josh alluded to, helping the community members, and some of the magistrates I know volunteered their time and equipment trying to help folks. Now I'm going to focus just a minute, for a second, on the road department. They worked 21 straight days. They had almost an impossible task. We don't have the equipment to deal with the ice and stuff that they were faced with. And they don't get the credit that they deserve. And I just want to give a shout out to each and every member of the road department for all the work that they've done on this. And hopefully they can get some rest and relax a little bit, because I know they have really, really put forth the effort, the very best effort they possibly could have. Also, I want to remind folks that we rescheduled the Town Hall Forum. It's going to be this month, the 23rd, here at 5:30, so I encourage everyone to attend. Also, our next Finance Committee meeting is February the 17th at 3:30 p.m. And please don't drink and drive, and don't text and drive now that you can drive.
All right, thank you. Magistrate Pennington.
No comments, sir.
Okay. Magistrate Thompson.
Just want to pass on a big thank you to all who have risen to the occasion. It is so good to be on this side of Winter Storm Fern and headed towards spring. We're blessed in this community. Great community with people who belong to Hardin County, no matter where they live. And the employees that we have in Hardin County are unsurpassed by any that I know of in this state. I'm so proud of them. Thank you.
Thank you. Magistrate Hicks.
I'm like Fred. I want to give a shout out to the road department, Dwight and his team. I know they got a lot of criticism about the roads, but they were doing everything they could possibly do with what they had to do with. And I talked to several of the people that was running trucks and everything, and everybody was very concerned about doing the very best job they could. And the citizens of Hardin County, I got a lot of phone calls, but none of them was belligerent. They was concerned about their roads. They talked to me like, they were just, when can I get my road clear? And so it was good. I enjoyed every one of those phone calls. I enjoyed every time we had a conversation with any of them. So I just want to give a shout out to the road department, each and every individual out there that had anything to do with this, the EMS, just Josh, he done a great job. I called him and he was, well, I'll take care of it. So I just want to thank everybody in Hardin County for the job they done.
Thank you. Magistrate Muse.
No comments, thank you.
All right, finally, I will remind that our next fiscal court meeting will be Tuesday, February 24th at 5:30. All right, all I need now is a motion to adjourn.
So moved. Saltzman.
Second?
Second.
I didn't catch you.
Second.
Pennington, okay.
Okay, all right, any objections? Hearing none, meeting is adjourned.